A while ago, there was a building challenge for Scarlet and Violet's Regulation D metagame to see if we could try and build a team around any specific Pokemon. One of the teams I actually submitted for this was Klawf, of course remaking the Klawf team from Regulation C, and we're going to try it today to see if it can actually hold up on Regulation D. If you guys enjoy, of course, like and subscribe for more, and with that said, let's get into today's team. So I do want to preface, the metagame has evolved a lot since I've actually used this team, or even made this team to begin with, but the metagame definitely ended up going a lot more Shifu focused, to say the least. So you don't see any Rocky Helmet and Pokemon like Indeedee or Mungus that could have been good lures, so do take the team with a grain of salt. It definitely could be a bit optimized, but we're still going to have fun today. As the last video of Regulation D, we're going to be using Klawf, of course, to just go back to our Regulation C roots where Kurt was still editing for this channel instead of the second channel, which will come back soon. But we do have Indeedee, which of course is great for blocking terrain. We have T-Tar with Tera Blast, AV Flying, and it has Rock Slide, Earthquake, and Low Kick as well, just to kill common Klawf checks. We have Klawf, of course, with the Rock Slide, Endeavor, Knockoff, and Endure set. I think this might benefit from other moves, but overall I still haven't really found anything, and I haven't found a better Tera type to maybe take advantage of like a Tera Blast set, so we're going to go with this one still. Liechi with Endure is great to pop an extra attack boost, which does help Klawf kind of do some decent damage, especially with our partner Tornadus, of course, to get some nice Tailwind support so Klawf can outpace teams and get some strong damage with Tera Rock. We also have Tailwind, Taunt, Bleak Wind, and Icy Wind on our Torn, of course, for just general speed control here. We have a Mungus with just standard Mungus with Citrus Berry. I could have definitely ran the Rocky Helmet on this, and I think probably if I made the team today, I would have done Rocky Helmet, but again, wanted to just use the team as I submitted it to see how it holds up. And finally, we do have a Fluttermane, of course, a bulky Tailwind Fluttermane with Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, Moonblast, and Thunderbolt. The team will be down in the description as well as the rental on screen here if you want to try it. And with that said, let's get into today's battles. Alright everyone, we're here today with our final Regulation D video on the channel. Starting tomorrow, of course, we do have the DLC content coming, and we will be doing day 1 DLC battles. But we are taking on the ladder with a Klawf team today. I've been hyping up the Klawf a bit. I made a team actually a while back, like a few months ago. It was one of the first Regulation D teams I built, and I thought that I wanted to feature it again on the channel, obviously, because Klawf is it's a fun little guy. But I featured it too soon, so I had to wait a little bit, and then last day of DLC came, and I could no longer push it off, or Kurt would yell at me. So we're using the Klawf today. If you guys enjoy, of course, leave a like for Klawf. It needs your little support to keep on going into Regulation E. The mon is already struggling pretty hard. But with that said, it's pretty much just the last team, but we have Torn now because Torn's a viable Tailwind mon instead of Talonflame. And it helps the team a lot, actually. It really does help the team a lot. I think early on what we're going to do, we're going to lead off with Torn and T-Tar actually could be a pretty good lead. We're going to bring Fluttermane, and then we're going to end the game with Klawf. My opponent doesn't have a lot of priorities, and Indeedee's not that useful here. And while a Mungus might not be bad for stuff like Rillaboom, for example, I feel like that we kind of just get ripped through with Ursaluna. So I'd rather bring something like a Fluttermane in the back because specs can just hurt this team pretty good. So hopefully we can injure the team enough so that then Klawf can, of course, come in and clean up. But it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. Like anything rewarding in life, we need to put in a lot of effort, blood, sweat, and tears into the Klawf. So, of course, again, you need to believe in Klawf in the comments below. If you guys don't leave your support for Klawf in the comments, it's just not going to do anything valuable. So we need to Bleak Wind here, and then I need to go right for that. I need to go right for the thing. I'm going to go for Earthquake, actually. Heatran probably will Tera. Heatran can Tera, honestly, I don't really mind. I could also just go for Rock Slide. Actually, wait, Earthquake and Bleak Wind hit perfectly anyway. Because if it's going for Tera Grass, then Bleak Wind will hit for super effective, and I'm pretty okay with that. So I don't really have to burn a Tera, actually. Yep, I was going to say that, you know, not having Crunch here does kind of suck. Especially with all the Frigg hype recently, but, I mean, I kind of ditched the... Oh, shit, so they didn't, so they didn't go for it. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I'm fine with the Tera Fairy Frigg, in all honesty. It's a very manageable set because Heatran going down will be so useful for Fluttermane, and we're going to get a ton of damage on this thing anyway. They're going to go for Flash Cannon. Honestly, I'm not too concerned with that. T-Tar still tanks this pretty comfortably, thankfully, because of the Assault Vest. Even Life Orb Heatran stands no chance. We're going to get Frigg pretty low. It's probably going to be at least, yeah, a little higher than I thought, but not to worry, because we do actually have kind of a slow Klawf, so this kind of works out fine. They do get up Trick Room, which is whatever. It's not great for us, but we can manage. Especially with Tera types, of course, we can definitely pull through here. But I'd be lying if I said this would be an easy matchup for sure. Especially with all the fast mons on our team and not having a Mungus here, this definitely does sting a little. They're going to bring in Ursaluna. Okay, Ursaluna is perfectly fine. So my opponent is probably going to go for a ground move here if I had to guess. What I think I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go for the Bleak Wind here. And then I'm going to switch out T-Tar. And I'm going to go... Do I want to? I kind of want to use Klawf as a sack piece here. I can't lie. I feel like that's kind of useful. But at the same time, though, I feel like it's a... I'm gonna go for Tera Blast. Oh, actually, I'll go for Low Kick, to be fair, because I can't Tera anyway on Ursa. I'm gonna anticipate the ground move here. If my opponent doesn't go for the ground move here, then I kind of choked, and I think I might lose the game even. But well, actually, no, we can still definitely pull through. It just depends on their last mon, actually. It really just depends on their last mon. Hopefully they just either target the Torn, or they just don't go for Facade into T-Tar. That's really... Okay, perfect. They target the Torn. That's probably the best case scenario for me. And thankfully, they don't even kill, which is amazing. Now, Frigg probably will not kill with the neutral Gleam. Perfect. Yeah, T-Tar choose. T-Tar choose that. Very easy T-Tar hit. Perfect, perfect, perfect. With Ursaluna gone, Klawf can actually do some decent work. Because... Oh... I underestimated how little that would do. Oh my goodness. T-Tar is so weak in this format. Okay. So they have what, 3 turns of Trick Room left? Ooh, I'm fucked. I'm very fucked. Okay. I'm gonna bring in Fluttermane here, because we can actually get a pretty good hit, thankfully, on my opponent. I'll just need to sack one of my 2 Pokemon. But essentially what I need to do is I need to go for Gleam, and I need to go for... What would do more damage? You know what? I should have calced this, actually. What will do more damage to Ursaluna? Tyranitar versus Ursaluna. Low Kick definitely does more than anything here. Yeah, it's not even close. Yeah, we have to go for Low Kick. Okay. That's still fine, actually, because either they target the T-Tar or they're going to target Fluttermane. In either case, I should still be able to take the Gleam, which is really the important thing, is taking the Gleam. Oh, you know what? No, because of sand damage, we don't take that anymore. And they're going for Psychic anyway. That's definitely going to kill. Unfortunate. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Rough game 1, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We fought Klawf's worst matchup game 1. Let's see. Do I have an out? Do I have an out? I mean, Klawf might be able to do it. I'm pretty sure that Klawf can't, but, you know, Klawf also might be able to do it. How many turns of Trick Room left? I think we have just enough to pull this off, maybe? 2 turns of Trick Room. Alright. So I guess if Endure can work twice, we can pull this off. But it really is reliant on Endure working twice, which I don't even know if it's possible or how possible it is. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if Return and if Endure can work twice. Endure Pokemon. Let's see if that even works. Is it on Protect Mechanics? All I need is Protect Mechanics. Let's see. Cannot protect against the end of turn. Let's see. Protect. Let's see. Okay, so it functions identical to Protect. Okay, that should be fine. That should be very fine, actually. Because if it's going off of Protect mechanics, then technically speaking, I could still pull this through. Because if it does give me the chance, all I need is the chance. All I need is the chance. Because we're going to be +2 thanks to that Liechi Berry. And on top of that as well, we'll be wearing my opponents down with both Frigg with Sand and with Ursaluna with Burn. So they'll be so weak that I might be able to manage this. So we need to kind of hope. We need to kind of hope. But we're all riding on Klawf here. We're riding on Klawf. The game lives and dies on Klawf here, which, for better or worse, is what we're at. It's definitely possible for sure. I won't act like it's great, but it's kind of what we have right now. So we're gonna go for another Endure. If this works, then we do win the game here. Well, actually, we probably win the game here, I should say, because Klawf will be fast enough, I think, to outpace whatever other mon comes in. Endure. Oh, it failed. That's so unfortunate. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll get to game number 2, though. So we'll see you guys in the next match. Until then, peace out, guys. Going to game number 2, we're taking on, I believe this is the World Champion team. It should definitely be pretty manageable compared to the last one at the very least. I feel confident in this one, actually. I feel kind of confident. We're going to lead off with Torn and Fluttermane. Torn Flutter gives me a pretty good lead as an opener. I'm going to go with Klawf, and then I think in my last mon, I think I kind of want to throw on the Indeedee. I have nothing else, just maybe force an Ice Spinner target will be pretty valuable. Could also maybe just be a good switch in on lead, depending on how my opponent leads up with. Like, if they don't lead off with Torn, for example, I could probably just go with the Fluttermane aggressively. I could also maybe go with the Amoonguss, so Amoonguss could be kind of valuable, actually, as a Terramon here. I actually do like the Terra Amoonguss a lot. We're going to go with Terra Amoonguss as our last mon. That should hopefully put up some decent pressure. I know that we're not Rocky Helmet, and that's kind of just something we have to take, but we are still Tera Water at least, so that should still be good into the Urshifu at the very least. But good luck and fun to my opponent here. I'm anticipating that I'm almost certain they bench Amoonguss here. I don't think it's really good against my team. And then the last one really could just be whatever. I think that unironically could maybe be Torn. I could also be Iron Hands. Really, I'm just expecting Urshifu, Pow, and Flutter Mane as definitive 3, and then the last slot will probably be Torn or Iron Hands. But I should be prepared either way. I feel more confident against this team, weirdly enough, the team that won the Worlds, than any other team well, I guess the other team we fought so far. I was going to say any other. But point being is I feel more confident against this one. We're going to go for a Taunt, actually. I kind of want to stop their speed control if possible. And then I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. I'm not going to Tera just yet. If my opponent goes for something like a Heavy Slam, so be it. But I don't really want to Tera and let them fake me out. Because that does kind of just slow down my damage. And if they waste a turn doing that, that's so much better for me. So I'll go for this. We're going to taunt the opposing Torn. Perfect. They can no longer get a Tailwind here. And then I can honestly probably just go for a Tailwind on my own next turn just to solidify that I will have the speed advantage, as my opponent has now wasted the turn, which is pretty good for me. We'll go for Tera Fairy just in case that was a roll. We're going to go for the Tailwind here, and then we're going to go for Tera Fairy. And this should set up to the point where now that they've lost their best way of priority, as well as the fact that they've lost their Tornadus, which could have otherwise maybe even the playing field, Klawf should now outpace everything confidently. And at worst, I can just go for like a Rock Slide, break a Focus Sash, and then win the game with Flutter Mane. So that should be pretty valuable. I am going to probably switch out Flutter Mane though, just to try and, I mean, really just because I don't want to risk something. I don't know. It'll depend on what they have in the back, really. If Amoonguss comes in, I'm definitely going to switch out to reset for Shadow Ball. They're going to go into Urshifu, so they're really letting Urshifu go down? That's like their best glide around Klawf besides the Iron Hands. So I'm very okay with that, actually. That's super good for me. If they Tera Iron Hands, they could probably get off a Heavy Slam here, but again, them sacking Urshifu is probably better for me, weirdly enough, in the long run, than Flutter Mane being around, because Flutter Mane being around is convenient, but it's definitely not necessary. They are going to Tera Iron Hands. They're probably going for Heavy Slam here. Honestly, that's pretty okay, because Urshifu dying here will be so much more valuable in my opinion. They're going for Tera Grass. Okay, Tera Grass is fine. So they're not the exact version of the World's team because that had Tera Water. It's still pretty okay though. Just a little bit worse of a matchup, I guess, for my Amoonguss here, which is fine. Well, technically speaking, it's the worst defensive matchup, not offensive though. We're gonna probably get hands to the red at the very least here. Yep, okay, perfect. And Urshifu drops. So good for me, super good for me. Last mon's definitely Flutter Mane. I can't imagine they would not have brought Flutter Mane here. So I don't mind really trading my own Flutter Mane just to try and kill theirs. My Klawf will be in such a good position now to where we could just get a free Rock Slide off actually, and I'm kind of set. Even if they do have Qian Pao, I'm still very okay with that because Qian Pao can't really hit me for any real damage. So yeah, we're just going to go for the Rock Slide this turn. Just try and weaken my opponent, and then we're just going to go for the Klawf. We'll go for Bleak Wind just in case I need to break a Focus Sash here. That way then they can't just get a free Sacred Sword into me with Qian Pao. And if they're going to go for Sucker Punch just to hit me, that's fine. It'll probably actually pop my Liechi Berry if nothing else. Amoonguss. Okay, Amoonguss is very fine here actually. What I could do, I can just go for a Taunt right into that, and then I can go for a Rock Slide this turn. I could also maybe actually go for a knockoff. I'm gonna go for a Rock Slide this turn. I think we could still kill hands in all honesty. And yep, it avoids the Rage Powder at the very least, which is good for my Torn. Not for my Torn, for my Klawf. So we're gonna taunt the Amoonguss here. I could have probably Bleak Winded if they were really gonna go for Rage Powder, but I'm still fine with this. Rock Slide going off, I just needed to hit Iron Hands. Oh my god, did we really miss the Iron Hands? That sucks. That sucks so much. Klawf was robbed. Klawf was so robbed. I'm pretty sure that could have killed. Oh, that's so annoying. I'm gonna fucking calc that just because I need to know how robbed Klawf was, because that's so fucked. That's super fucked up. Let's see, because we no longer were. Yeah, that might not have killed. I should have maybe just Bleak Winded. That's whatever. I still feel confident that we can pull back with Torn at the very least, especially seeing the comp, but Klawf was still robbed. I could have at least also gone for the flinch, obviously, like there's still that side of it. We're gonna go for Pollen Puff right into the Iron Hands though, because they can't redirect that anyway, and they can't really spore my team successfully because they're taunted on Amoonguss. All they have is Pollen Puff in their pocket, which they can do in the side, but I will always outpace them and get off the damaging one first. So I feel pretty strong that I can just start getting off some really good hits, kill the Iron Hand successfully, and be set. With just my Amoonguss left as well, they're gonna have Torn and, of course, Amoonguss. Well, actually, they'll probably lose both of these mons here. Oh, okay, so Amoonguss will be around. That's fine. Amoonguss can't switch out, though. And I can honestly just Tailwind through. Oh, wow. So they actually outpace my Amoonguss, even with the Iron Hands. That's a fast Iron Hands. Well, actually, I guess, never mind. It's just the Amoonguss is so slow. Okay, well, we'll pick off their Amoonguss at least. Which is kind of good, because their Torn was really weak, and I might be able to beat it 1v1. It's going to depend on how much Bleak Wind does, frankly, but I can maybe make this work, actually. Perfect, so Amoonguss is gone. At least it's a 1v1, which makes this a lot better, because they could have maybe Pollen Puffed into the side and kept that longevity going. But I might be able to actually take this down. I might be able to win this with Amoonguss, which is good. I'm going to need to really kind of bank on Sleep Turns here, but they're not that healthy at this point. Okay, well, we're going to go for a Spore here. If they taunt, that's fine. I kind of just need to take it and then try and hope that I can either dodge Bleak Winds or just take as little damage as possible. They're just going for raw damage. Okay, perfect. We take that hit. Okay. So if I get a couple Sleep Turns on this, I could actually maybe win the game. At this point, I just need a Pollen Puff, really. I just need a Pollen Puff and either hope for full Sleep Turns or miss. But they did rob my Klawf, of course, with the Rock Slide hit, so we're going to try and rob them in return. That actually would have been huge, because now that I'm thinking, so even if, honestly, like, I would have kept Torn at least, which could have been really valuable. I could have side Pollen Puff my Torn until I won the game. So even if Klawf didn't get the kill, it definitely mattered for the full game plan at the very least. Again, I know I'm trying to justify a really unmon here, but come on, let Klawf cook. Okay, that actually does a good amount of damage for Pollen Puff, at least. If I can get a couple more Sleep Turns, I could actually, like, if I get the full 3, or if I get a dodge, you're fucking kidding. There's no way. There's no way. That's so robbed. Oh, that's so unfortunate. It is what it is. We'll see you guys in game number 3, though. Oh, that sucks. That sucks so much. Alright, game number 3 time. Peace out, guys. Okay, so moving on to our final game of the day. Depending on how quick this goes, most likely our final at least. We're taking on a team with Hoodra. Hoodra already is so annoying for this build, but thankfully, this might be where the Endeavor Klawf actually kind of works out well. We're going to lead off with... I kind of want to lead off with Torn and then the T-Tar. I feel like Torn T-Tar is pretty good. We're going to bring in Indeedee, and then I think I'm going to bring the Klawf. Not that Klawf objectively should come. Actually, no, we'll bench Indeedee. And we're going to go with Fluttermane. I kind of want to... So that's kind of the unfortunate thing, is to show off Klawf in this matchup, I kind of need to bench another good piece. I could maybe actually just ditch Torn. Lead off with Fluttermane and T-Tar. That actually would probably also work out fine. Yeah, because the only thing that would actually check would be their Scarfer, and I think I can just try and pose enough of a threat early on. Especially if they lead off with their Shifu, I can just Tera T-Tar, and then between the Tera T-Tar as well as the Fluttermane, something will kill their Urshifu. So I can probably just make that work. I would be lying if I said I thought this was a comfortable matchup, but it's definitely one I can still pull through in. I'll just need to play a bit aggressively, but I think Klawf can do it. I feel confident in the little guy. And if Klawf doesn't work, well, then Kurt, I don't know, Kurt will yell at me, but Klawf was still robbed. Alright, Heatran and Grimmsnarl. This is actually a really good lead for me. What I can proceed to do is I can just go for a Dazzling Gleam turn 1 and then go for a... So there's a good chance that Heatran just goes for Tera here, right? I feel like there's a good chance that Heatran goes for Tera. I am going to try and predict around that and go for Flash Cannon. I am for Tera Blast, and I'm going to go for Gleam. If my opponent doesn't go for Tera on Heatran, that's fine. I can just proceed to go for Earthquake into it next turn and then just go hard into something like Indeedee. I don't mind Indeedee taking damage, frankly. I really just care about the terrain being up because it does help with things like Aqua Jet or Shifu. But I can still definitely play around it nonetheless. So my opponent is, of course, going to let me Tera my T-Tar. So I guess the question is how fast is their Heatran? Because Heatran could definitely be slower, to be fair. It wouldn't be too out there for Heatran to underpace my T-Tar. But at the same time, though, there's only so slow Heatran can be to do that. Okay, they are going to Parting Shot here. Okay, Parting Shot is fine. They're at least revealing team slots with us, which is good. Okay. So what are they going to go into? I'm going to assume that it's probably something like a Landorus to try and weaken my T-Tar, which is fine if they do that. Lando will still have to take any sort of... Okay, they're going to go into Rillaboom, actually. Rillaboom is pretty okay as well. We can still get some solid damage on the Rillaboom at the very least. This was definitely their way of trying to get through the damage that T-Tar would have put on Heatran, which I'm still fine with. It's not going to be great damage, to be fair, but we can definitely still low kick on the following turn. And again, unless they're going for Heavy Slam, it's not a guaranteed kill with Heatran anyway, unless it's like a Life Orb set. So I can still definitely muscle this, for sure. It's definitely still winnable. They are slower than my T-Tar anyway, which is also really good information. They do not kill, which is perfect. Okay. So I can just go for another Gleam here. And then I can go for... I probably just go for like a low kick into my opponent. Yeah, I think I just go for Gleam. They might also try and go for a fake out, which I can just go into Indeedee on. And then just go for the low kick into Heatran. Actually, I can just go for Earthquake at that point because Heatran will no longer have the grassy terrain protecting it. That actually would probably be a really good play. Because if they're going to fake out, they're probably going for it into... Well, no, they're going for fake out into T-Tar. They still won't kill, though. They still definitely will not kill. So I'm okay with that. And I can just try and redirect hits with Indeedee. So that honestly could kind of work out well for me. And even if they kill Indeedee, then I just bring back in Flutter Mane and I can lock something like a Shadow Ball, which will probably match up a lot better into this team anyway. Then I can go for Tera Blast into Urshifu with a Spec Shadow Ball going to Heatran, and that will definitely kill both these mons. So I think this will actually work out a bit better for us, I can't lie. So we're going to bring in Indeedee here. Indeedee will definitely enter the field. They can still go for a pretty terrifying attack with the Rillaboom, but at the same time, though, I'm not really sure what attack that would be in particular. They are going to just go for Fake Out. Fake Out is fine. They're definitely trying to kill my Flutter Mane at the very least. No, they're just going to go for Heat Wave. Heat Wave is still very fine, actually, because T-Tar didn't get burned, which is great. Meanwhile, I get a pretty free Earthquake off. Now, they can still go for something like a Protect on Heatran, which I kind of just need to take. I think I am going to go for Low Kick just for sake of, and I'm going to try and... I think I have Helping Hand on Indeedee. If I have Helping Hand on Indeedee, I'm definitely just going to go for the Low Kick. Yeah, I have Helping Hand. Can we kill, actually? I'm curious if we can. So, versus Tyranitar with Helping Hand. Low Kick? Low Kick will kill. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna just go for it. I might not kill without the Helping Hand, to be fair, but this should help a lot, especially if they do go into something like a Landorus this turn. Grimmsnarl. They just go right into Grimmsnarl. Okay, perfect. So I should be able to just take out the Heatran, which is great. That's one of the best checks they have to the Klawf, and just taking that mon out is huge. Rillaboom can still be a bit annoying as well as Grimmsnarl, but this already gets me a lot better field positioning, so I'll more than take that. We have removed the Heatran. That is perfect. The team is now getting significantly weaker to Flutter Mane as well, so in case the Klawf does fail us again, we are still in a position to at least win the game and not go 0-3 today. So it's going to depend, I guess, on their Scarfers, really. What I could do, though, I get a pretty free Follow Me this turn, barring, of course, Fake Out, which is kind of whatever. I'll just Heal Pulse up T-Tar just in case, because keeping this mon alive is going to be pretty valuable. They're going to go into Urshifu. Okay, perfect. So I can actually just go for a Tera Blast into this, and then I can go for a Follow Me this turn. That should help. Obviously, if Urshifu Teras, it's one thing, it'll get rid of its weakness, but Tera Blast will still be one of my strongest hits into this Pokemon anyway. So I'm not too concerned. They're going to go for Detect regardless. Okay, that's fine. They probably can't really do anything to my Indeedee to stop this anyway. The worst thing they could do, I guess, is go for like a Reflect this turn. Yep, they're going to go for a Reflect. Okay, so be it. Urshifu Rapid. Alright. So T-Tar definitely can still do a lot of damage, at least with the Reflect up. We'll probably do around like 80%, which is good. That's actually really good damage. Okay. Well, actually, no, that's with Helping Hand. We're going to definitely do less with Helping Hand. But we do know it's not Choice at the very least, which not Choice is really good information, because that means that Flutter Mane should be able to pick this off pretty confidently. We're going to go for Tera Blast here, and then I'm going to go for the Follow Me this turn. I'm going to try and just draw in my opponent's attacks at this point to Indeedee. They're going to withdraw Grim and go into Rillaboom. That's really okay for me, actually, because even with the fact that they can probably just fake out Rillaboom into my T-Tar next turn, my Indeedee, on the other hand, will still be pretty good here. And if they didn't Tera or Shifu, then that's even better damage-wise for me. Worst case, I'll just go for T-Bolt into that spot, and I'll be pretty set. So they are going to bring in the Tera Water. Okay, so Tera Water does hurt a little bit. That brings our damage down to like 80, I don't know, like 29%, which isn't great, but it's not terrible either. Flutter Mane, we are modest specs at the very least. Gleam actually could still just pick this off. Especially with the sand damage, Gleam could just kill this. They're going to go for Aqua Jet. Ooh, they're trying to get some damage early on. They're going to go into Indeedee. Alright, this actually works out pretty well though, because I can still get my Tera Blast off, and I can not only go for Tera Blast, but I can definitely go for another one pretty confidently. Okay. Let's see. So, what do I want to do here? I think I'm going to go for Follow Me, and I'm going to go for... They could also actually just Fake Out Indeedee. Just in case, what I think I'll do, I'm going to check... let me check Low Kick. No, I'm just going to go for Tera Blast. I'm just gonna go for Tera Blast, and I'll go for it into the Rillaboom in case they let me have this. And I'm gonna go for Follow Me this turn. I'll let them just pick the Pokemon they want to kill. They are gonna fake out Indeedee. Okay, I thought there was a small chance they might do that, but this is still fine because I actually do have a pretty free play next turn of going for Helping Hand in the Flutter Mane, since they can't actually pick me off. And then I can try and win the game off of Klawf at the very least, assuming that they do have an out to my Flutter Mane, which I don't think they will. I don't think they have anything out to that, I'll be honest. So I might not need the Klawf, which is unfortunate. Okay. What I could actually do, to be a little bit cheeky here, I could go for... I could go for Klawf. I could definitely go for Klawf. I feel confident enough to, oh, you know what? Actually, I can't go for... No, I can. I do kind of need to actually go for this play. Because my opponent can otherwise just go for an Aqua Jet and kill me. So I need Indeedee to actually be around so I can pick off Urshifu here. So what I need to do... They're going to... So... They do kind of have the option of just going for Detect here. How much does Rillaboom take? Let's see. So Rillaboom... Moonblast. Oh, that does like no damage. That does no damage. I need to make a bit of a play. I need to make a really big play. I need to go for Moonblast into Rillaboom, and I need to spit a Detect. I need to kill that Rillaboom as quickly as possible before it does anything to me. If they go for Detect on Urshifu, I think I win the game here. If they don't, I lose the game here. They go for Detect. Okay, that's huge. That's huge because with the Helping Hand, I can actually kill this Rillaboom pretty confidently. That's game changing right there. Because now all I need to do is just click Follow Me, because Urshifu will fold to this hit, and then I can end the game off of Klawf at the very least, because I don't think that Flutter Mane will live the hit, and I think frankly they're not even going to go for a Light Screen here, because it doesn't really matter for them. Like if they go for Light Screen, Urshifu should still die. Urshifu should still definitely die to that. Even with the Tera, Light Screen, oh yeah, that should still very easily kill here. So we're going to go for Moonblast here into Urshifu, and then I'm going to go for Follow Me this turn. Even if Grim taunts, I'm still fine. They're going to fake out. Ooh, oh fuck. No, I think I lose here. I think I lose because I didn't sack the Klawf. Oh no. I could still actually win this. I could still definitely win this. It's just going to be a lot more Grim. Ooh. So how do I want to go about this? So I think I need to flinch down with Klawf is going to be the thing. I could have also just sacked Klawf. Klawf could have been a strategic sack, but we don't believe in strategic sacking Klawf here on the channel. I'd rather lose than strategic sack Klawf. We're going to go for Rock Slide, and I'm going to go for Follow Me. We're going to draw my opponents in, and I'm going to flinch them down. They're probably going to Aqua Jet the Klawf in all honesty, and I don't think I take that hit if I'm going to be honest. Also, even still, I underpace anyway, so I do kind of need to go for this play regardless. They're going to go for Parting Shot into Indeedee. Okay, that's fine. Very free Parting Shot into Indeedee here. Okay, Surging Strikes. They're going to kill Indeedee here. Unfortunate. Yeah, if only... So I should have probably actually switched... I'll be honest, I don't think I had a great play here. We're going to just try and damage stuff with Klawf. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. Yeah, I definitely lose, though. I 100% lose. This is a very, very sad way for Klawf to go out. Klawf does not like the Urshifu meta. It's very unfortunate. I'll have to reinvent Klawf for a way that actually works in the Urshifu meta, because it just doesn't work right now. I'll be completely honest. It's still very unfortunate. I do still think that Klawf has robbed the game, too, if nothing else, at least of its contribution, but I should have strategic sacked it. I still was not going to. Hopefully you guys enjoyed anyway, though. This will be the last Regulation D video. Come Regulation E, we will have solved the Klawf metagame to where it will actually be a noteworthy threat. If you guys enjoyed, of course, and you want to see some more Regulation E content starting tomorrow, like and subscribe for more. Let me know as well in the comments what Regulation E mon you guys want to see, and check out our building stream at 7 o'clock tonight, where we're going to be building some of the first Regulation E teams. With that said, of course, shoutouts to our channel members who, for just a couple dollars a month, are, of course, supporting the channel. You get some nice bonus guides on how to use certain Pokemon and generally how they're going to impact this metagame. With, of course, the first building guide being around Clefairy. So with that said, though, of course, shoutouts to our current channel members being Zeke, Mia, Timo Mueller, Sam, Rao Plays, Obo, Johanna Speed, Double, Endless Gadgets, Bam Bambi, and Josh K Ultra Player. With that said, of course, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, peace out, guys.